Let me ask you something and be honest. Have you ever had a moment where you looked around at your life and thought, this can't be it, there's more in me than this? Maybe you're doing okay on the outside, but inside you're quietly screaming for a breakthrough. And here's the truth that most people never hear in time. Your life does not change by working harder. It doesn't change by waiting longer. It changes the moment you make one mental shift. A shift so powerful, it will rewrite your story from today forward. What I'm about to share with you isn't motivation. It's not hype. It's a switch. And once you flip it, the way you think, act, love, build, lead will never be the same. So if you're tired of repeating old patterns, if you're done playing small while something bigger calls you, then don't just listen to this speech. Commit to hearing it like your life depends on it. Because it does let me take you deeper into this first and most powerful truth. You have been living your life reacting instead of choosing. Think about it. How much of your day, your week, your month have you spent simply responding to what happens around you, caught in the whirlwind of emotions, circumstances, and other people's agendas? You wake up, and before you even realize it, your mind is flooded with the endless to-do list, the setbacks, your emotions pull you like a puppet on strings. You're reacting to emails, reacting to demands, reacting to life's chaos. But here's the game changer. What if you could stop reacting? What if you could step out of that exhausting cycle and start choosing how you respond to every situation? That moment, when you stop reacting and start responding, is the moment you reclaim control. It's the moment you take the pen out of fate's hand and start writing your own story. Because here's the reality. Life will throw things at you. You cannot control every event, every circumstance, every word from someone else. But what you can control is how you respond. That choice, no matter how small, shifts everything. You shift from being a victim of circumstance to being the master of your destiny. The difference between these two mindsets isn't subtle, it's seismic. Picture this. Two people face the same challenge. One person reacts with frustration, anger, or despair. They feel powerless, stuck, overwhelmed. The other person pauses, breathes, and asks, what's the lesson here? What's my next best move? That second person has taken back the power. They've shifted from reaction to creation. And over time, that shift compounds. It rewires your brain, rewrites your habits, rewires your future. Now, this doesn't mean ignoring your emotions or pretending everything's fine when it's not. It means recognizing your emotions without letting them dictate your next move. Emotions are signals, not commands. You can feel anger without letting it control your choices. You can feel fear and still take a bold step forward. This is the mental shift, the space between stimulus and response, that gives you freedom. You have a choice in every moment to be a prisoner to the past or a pioneer of your future, to react unconsciously or respond intentionally, and that choice creates momentum. When you consistently choose to respond from your highest self, your future rewrites itself in ways you never imagined. So today, start practicing this shift. The next time life pulls you into a reaction, pause, take a breath, ask yourself, what is the empowering response here? How can I use this moment to grow? Because your future depends not on what happens to you, but on what you do with what happens to you. This is the one mental shift that rewrites everything. Let's talk about something that holds more people back than anything else, the victim mindset. It's that voice inside your head that whispers, why is this happening to me? It's the story you tell yourself when life knocks you down, when things don't go your way, or when the world seems unfair. I want you to know something right now. That mindset, as powerful as it feels, is a prison. It's a cage built by your own beliefs, and it's time to break free. See, every person who's ever achieved something extraordinary faced setbacks, failures, and moments of doubt. But what sets them apart isn't that they had easier lives or fewer problems. It's that they stopped asking, why me, and started asking, what now? This shift, this simple question, rewires your entire approach to life. It moves you from replaying your past pain into creating your future purpose. When you stay stuck in victim thinking, you give your power away. You hand over the keys to your happiness, your success, your freedom to circumstances and people outside of you. But here's the secret. No matter what's happened, no matter how dark or difficult your past, you have the power to rewrite your story. You are not defined by your history. You are defined by what you choose to do with it. Imagine you're holding a remote control. The victim mindset puts someone else's hands on that remote, controlling the channel of your life. You watch helplessly as negativity, doubt, and fear play on repeat. But the creator's mindset puts the remote back in your hands. It gives you the freedom to change the channel, to pick what you want to focus on, and to create the show you want to star in. This isn't about denying the pain or pretending everything is perfect. It's about choosing to take ownership of your future despite the pain. It's about saying, yes, this happened. Yes, it hurt, but I'm done letting it hold me back. It's a decision, a powerful, conscious decision to be the architect of your life instead of a bystander. The mental shift is simple, but it's profound. Move from why me to what now. The moment you ask what now, you step into action, responsibility, and possibility. You stop being stuck and start moving forward. You stop replaying old tapes and start writing new ones. And when you live with this mindset, doors open where there were walls. Challenges become opportunities. Failures become lessons. Pain becomes fuel. Your life begins to transform, not because life got easier, but because you became stronger, wiser, and more determined. So whatever story you're telling yourself right now about why things aren't working, ask yourself, are you ready to stop being a victim? Are you ready to become a creator? Because your future is waiting on the other side of that decision. This is the shift that will rewrite everything. Think about this for a moment. Who do you say you are? When life gets tough, when you face obstacles or setbacks, what's the story you tell yourself about who you are? That story, the one you replay over and over in your mind, shapes everything. It shapes your choices, your habits, your energy, and ultimately your results. Your identity isn't just a label. It's the thermostat that sets the temperature for every area of your life. If your identity is stuck on I'm not good enough or I'm not that kind of person, then no matter how hard you try, your life will struggle to rise above that temperature. Here's the truth that most people never realize. Your identity is fluid. It's not fixed, not permanent. It's a story you've learned and told yourself so many times that you've started to believe it as absolute truth. But what if you challenge that? What if you stopped accepting that story as your reality? Because the moment you do, you open the door to a new possibility, new thoughts, new behaviors, and a new life. When you say, I'm just not the kind of person who, you're limiting yourself. You're putting your potential in a tiny box and throwing away the key. But what if instead you asked, who would I be if I stopped believing that? What if you gave yourself permission to imagine a different version of you, one that's stronger, more confident, more capable than you've ever allowed yourself to be? Changing your identity is not about faking it or pretending. It's about owning the truth that you have the power to grow, to evolve, and to become. It's about planting new seeds in your mind and nurturing them until they grow into habits, skills, and results. It's about rewriting the story you live by, because here's the secret. Your actions are driven by your beliefs. Change the beliefs in your actions, and your life will follow. Let me be clear, this takes courage. It's uncomfortable. It means stepping into the unknown and letting go of what's familiar, even if it's holding you back. But that discomfort is the doorway to transformation. When you begin to identify as the person who overcomes challenges instead of the one who gets defeated, your entire world begins to shift. Imagine waking up every day and saying to yourself, I am someone who creates solutions, not excuses. I am someone who learns and grows. I am someone who deserves success and happiness. How different would your day be? How different would your choices be? Because when your identity aligns with your highest vision, your energy changes, your confidence grows, and your results accelerate. So today, I challenge you. Look at the story you're telling yourself about who you are. Ask yourself if that story is serving you or limiting you, and then decide to upgrade it. Decide to tell a new story, one where you are the hero, the creator, the unstoppable force. Because your identity is the foundation for everything that follows. This shift will rewrite your future. Let's get real for a moment about where your energy goes every day. So many people live with their focus scattered, pulled in 1,000 different directions by problems they can't control, by worries about what others think, by regrets over what they didn't do. But here's what separates those who break through from those who stay stuck. They focus on what they can control, and they go all in on it. Think about it. Energy flows where focus goes. It's a simple truth, but it's powerful beyond measure. When your attention is locked on what's missing, on what's broken, or on what you wish were different, you're draining your energy into a black hole. It's like trying to fill a bucket with water while it's full of holes. You're pouring your life force into a space that can't hold it. But when you shift your focus to what's possible, to the actions and attitudes that are within your power, your energy begins to build, to expand, to create momentum. You don't get to control the economy, the weather, or how other people behave, but you do get to control your attitude. You get to decide what you're going to do next. You get to choose how you speak to yourself, how much effort you're willing to give, and what direction you're going to move in. And when you focus relentlessly on those things, the things you control, you become unstoppable. There's a powerful mindset here. Instead of saying, I can't do this because of that, say, what can I do right now with what I have? Instead of complaining about circumstances, ask, what step forward can I take? Because focusing on your circle of control doesn't just make you more productive, it changes your internal state. You start feeling empowered instead of overwhelmed, hopeful instead of defeated. Most people don't realize that the quality of your life is a direct reflection of where you put your focus. When you shift your attention to what you can influence, you begin to build a foundation of confidence and momentum. That momentum grows with each small step you take until suddenly you're moving faster and further than you ever imagined possible. It's also important to remember that focusing on what you control doesn't mean ignoring problems or challenges. It means you're choosing your battles wisely. You're directing your energy into solving problems where your effort will matter. This strategic focus creates leverage, and leverage creates results. So ask yourself right now, where am I wasting energy on things I can't change? Where can I shift my focus to what I can change? My attitude, my effort, my actions. Because when you do this consistently, you stop being a passenger in your life and become the driver. The moment you harness your focus and energy on what's within your control, your future begins to rewrite itself in your favor. This mental shift will change everything. Have you ever stopped to really listen to the way you talk to yourself? The words you use every day aren't just sounds or thoughts. They're the blueprint for the life you're creating. The language you choose shapes your beliefs, your emotions, and your actions. It's not just about positive thinking. It's about the power of your words to shape your reality. When you change your language, you change your experience of life. Think about it. When you say, I'm stuck, what happens? Your mind locks into limitation and your body follows. When you say, I failed, you plant a seed of defeat that grows into fear and hesitation. But when you shift those words, even slightly, you start to open new doors. Instead of, I'm stuck, try saying, I'm learning. Instead of, I failed, say, I'm gaining clarity. Those small changes in language send a powerful signal to your brain that something different is possible. You're rewiring your mind to look for solutions, not problems. Language is the way we interpret the world, but it's also the way we create the world. Every conversation you have with yourself shapes the lens through which you see your challenges and opportunities. If your inner dialogue is filled with doubt, criticism, and negativity, you'll live in a world of struggle and limitation. But if you speak to yourself with encouragement, possibility, and faith, your world shifts to one of growth and success. It's easy to overlook the power of words because they seem so simple, but they are anything but simple. Words create emotions, and emotions drive behavior. When you say, I can't, you feel powerless, and your actions reflect that. When you say, I will find a way, you ignite determination and creativity. This is why champions, leaders, and high achievers guard their language carefully. They speak to themselves with respect and vision, fueling their momentum. Changing your language is a practice. It takes awareness and effort, especially at first. You have to catch yourself in the moment when negative or limiting words creep in. Then deliberately choose a new way to say it, one that empowers rather than diminishes. Over time, this rewires your brain's patterns, and your default way of thinking shifts. You start to naturally speak a language of possibility. And here's the exciting part. The language you use doesn't just affect your mind, it influences how others see you and how they respond. When you speak with confidence and positivity, you attract opportunities, support, and connection. Your words become a magnet for the life you want. So start paying attention to your inner dialogue today. Notice the words you use about yourself and your circumstances. Are they lifting you up or holding you down? Begin to choose words that reflect the future you want, not the past you're trying to escape. Speak your future into existence, one word, one sentence at a time, because the language you use today will build the life you live tomorrow. This shift in your words will rewrite your entire future. Here's the raw truth. Nothing changes until you decide. I don't mean wish or hope or maybe someday. I mean a real deep soul level decision that says, this is it. I'm all in. So many people get stuck in the endless cycle of trying without committing. They dabble, they test the waters, but they don't fully jump in. And that hesitation costs them everything, their dreams, their confidence, their future. A decision is more than a thought. It's a declaration that you're ready to take responsibility for your life. It's the moment you break free from doubt, fear, and indecision. When you decide fully, the universe begins to move with you. Doors open, energy shifts, and momentum builds. It's like flipping a switch inside you that turns on power you didn't even know you had. Imagine you're standing at a crossroads. One path leads to where you've always been, comfortable but limited. The other path leads to the unknown, full of challenges and growth. Making a decision is stepping onto that unknown path with confidence and purpose. It's saying, I'm willing to face whatever comes because what I want is greater than my fear. Commitment is the fuel that drives transformation. Without it, progress stalls. But with it, you become unstoppable. This is why so many people never reach their potential, not because they lack talent or opportunity, but because they never decide fully to claim it. They leave the door open to excuses and second guessing. When you decide, you activate a force inside that compels you forward. You start to see opportunities where others see obstacles. You tap into resilience you didn't know you had. You stop waiting for the perfect moment and create your own momentum. Decision creates clarity and focus, cutting through the noise and distraction. And here's something powerful. The quality of your life is directly related to the quality of your decisions. Big or small, every decision shapes your path. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't often comes down to one thing: the ability to decide and commit, then act relentlessly on that decision. But decision alone isn't enough. It must be followed by action. The decision without action is just a wish. When you decide, you also commit to doing whatever it takes to make that decision real. You become relentless, persistent, and unshakable. You keep moving forward even when the road is tough because your decision is stronger than your doubts. So today, I challenge you to decide right now. Decide to rewrite your future. Decide to leave behind hesitation and fear. Decide to commit to your highest vision with everything you've got. Because until you decide, your life stays stuck in the same place. This decision will rewrite your entire future.